Hi everyone, Martin here. Welcome back to Accidentally Detailed. Today we will cover some color theory, or how to describe it better. Why I think it is important to paint our models lighter than real vehicles' colors were. Here is the T-34 from this episode, already sprayed. You can see it is somehow lighter than what you see in museums. It is also post-shaded, which you cannot see on museums vehicles either. I would also like to show you my very old Tiger in 1:72 scale. It represents this theory even better. It is in panzer grey but much lighter than real panzer grey was. You are asking why? The main idea behind this theory is that the smaller the scale, the lighter the color should be. Smaller models have smaller surfaces and details to catch the light. Painting such a small model with the real shade of color will make it too dark. This Tiger, for example, could look just like a piece of coal if painted in real panzer grey. And keep in mind that even this footage is shot under studio lamps. Without the lighting, the model would look even darker than what you see here. So we do not want a collection of coals, but models where details are actually visible. Scale modeling has become more like art than following 100% reality. The main idea is to deceive the eyes and create the right feeling. So enough theory and let's start doing something. As a first step, before we even start priming, we need to degrease the model. For this I use ethanol, which I bought at the pharmacy. I just spread the ethanol on the model surface with a flat brush. I prefer this over traditional soap and water. It evaporates in very little time and we can move straight to painting. For good paint adhesion to the surface, we need to use primer. I used black VMS primer. I prefer this one because it is strong, it is self-leveling and holds well even on metal parts. I chose the black shade mainly because if I miss some spots later, it will act as shadow. For this layer, it is most important to spray primer everywhere. Into every corner, every detail, everywhere. This is the first layer of the paint job and it is must cover 100% of the surface. I even check tight places with a light to make sure they are covered. We really do not want bare plastic showing anywhere. Because we will paint the tracks and wheels together, we need to adjust to the situation. We spray German grey over everything, tracks and wheels included. It will represent the base color for the tracks and rubber rims. Now it was time for the base color. For this I chose dark green from Tamiya. I also added a few drops of clear varnish into the mixture to reduce dusting. For thinning, I use Mr. Hobby lacquer thinner. We spray in several thin layers. We build the opacity slowly. We also rotated the model so we can spray into every corner. This is the second most important layer after primer. This base color should cover most of the surface. I follow a simple rule. If I know something will be invisible later, I do not spend extra time on it. I do not spend extra time masking the wheels because this time will be very muddy. So I sprayed the wheels with green freehand. To avoid overspray on the rubber rims, we just spray from the right angle. This is the result after the base coat. If we follow strict reality, this darkness would be about right. But the model could look too dark, especially in displays without proper lighting. So to make the model pop out more, we need to add more brightness. For the first lighter shade I mixed the base color with yellow-green from Tamiya. I again added a few drops of clear varnish. This mixture we also thin more for better airbrushing. What we are going to spray here is not color modulation. It is called post-shading and it comes from aircraft modelers. The process is simple. We spray a cloudy pattern on the surface. We try to make it as random as possible. The base coat remains mostly visible around edges and details. This helps make the surface lighter but also more eye-catching. For an even lighter shade of green, I added more yellow-green into the previous mixture. The consistency should be really thin. With this mixture, we again make cloudy patterns. The difference is that with the previous lighter shade we covered around 80% of the surface. With this one, we cover maybe 50%. We also aim more toward the most exposed parts. Hatches and raised surfaces should receive most of this mixture. For the top highlights, we mix the previous mixture with a little bit of buff color. With this mixture we really spray only the most raised surfaces, periscopes and ventilation covers for example. Here we can see the difference between the post-shaded turret and the hull still in base coat. The difference is huge. Honestly, which one is most attractive to the eyes? Please tell me in the comments. This tank will be a winter one, and green is just for this episode. For that reason, I wanted to make the green more cold than warm. I just mixed a few drops of Tamiya sky blue paint with a lot of thinner, filter consistency, so around 95% thinner is the right ratio. I sprayed it over the whole model and it slightly changed the tone of the green. For the purpose of this video, I used some old decals. It was painful because they were thick a lot. I needed to somehow integrate them into the surface. Even after many attempts with decal solutions, it was a challenge. Then it was time for brush painting. First I painted the spare tracks on the front armor plate. I used two shades of grey to visually separate the links from each other. To make them look rusty, I used enamel only once in this episode, a rusty tone. It is just a base layer before the whitewash comes. To make the model pop out more visually, I mixed the lighter green color. I used AK and Vallejo acrylics paints. I also added paint retarder into the mixture from VMS. We need the paint to stay fresh for longer. I painted all the small details with this mixture. The bolts, handles, fuel drum holders and so on. After this, the paint job for this episode was done. So guys, here is the result of the current work. The whole point of this video is to make models lighter than real tanks. I have not painted a pure green vehicle for a long time, so my satisfaction is not here. What calms me down is that in the next episode we turn it into a winter tank. I hope you found this video interesting at least a little. Thank you for watching and I wish you all the best.